Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Monday. It is Monday. It's a new week. I'm back, and I'm only back in front of this backdrop today. One day only. And I forgot to take my pills, so I'm really sorry. All my vitamins. Sorry. I know. But if I don't do it, I'll forget. I know. Weird, right? Anyways, so I changed my hair color twice this weekend because I put this blondish caramel color in. Absolutely did not like it. So I had some pink laying around, and it actually kind of came out to the color I was wanting to play with, but was too afraid to do so. But either way, I'm glad it's not the other one. So I know. Also, I don't have my mic, so I hope you guys can hear me. I left it at my dad's house, so, and apparently I don't have any spares around here. I thought I did, but I guess they're in my suitcase at my dad's. So anyway, I know, right? But we're going to do oracles today. We're going to do oracles today, and they feel like they're a bit on the healing side. So we have the Heal Yourself cards, magical unicorns, because who doesn't love unicorns? We got dragons, because who doesn't love dragons? And healing with the fairies. So we got quite a few here, and I'm not really sure. Good morning, Eileen. Not really sure what we're going to do next. This week we are going to talk about a few interesting things. We're going to talk about a Hawaiian, and I'm putting that on paper or on record so that I actually do it. Who kind of saved the language of sorts. And we're going to talk about a group of men that I learned about while watching The Pit, called the Freedom House Ambulance Service. So today, like I said, we're going to start with oracles. Just because, last week I was just in relax mode. In fact, believe it or not, good morning, cousin. A friend of mine actually said, hey, I'm going to be at Disneyland. Do you want me to get you in? And I'm all like, dude, it's hot outside and I'm going to see Spider-Man. But also I was wrecked after Comic-Con. It was so humid. It was so humid. So anyways, let's just start with the healing stuff first, and then we'll get to the fun creatures of the skies and the earth. The skies and the land, the dragons and the whatchamacallits. So, all right, I put the thing away, but remember, basic rules for oracle readings. If the card does not feel like it fits you, don't force it. It's going to cause stress. It can cause unnecessary stress. I don't know why I put the rules away or the guidelines, but I did. So anyways, they will cause unnecessary stress. Also, I take time to read the book because people, wrote the book, took the time to write it. So we're going to read it. And I'm sure there's other stuff in there that I forgot and I can't remember, but you'll be fine. Just like I said, if it doesn't fit you, don't make it fit. But like I said, I'm going to talk about some pretty cool stuff this week, so I hope you come back. Today I just wanted to ease myself into the week by doing the oracles, because we didn't do any for a while, and yeah, so anyway, all right, so far only one card came out. Come on, what do you want to tell them? This is the healing deck. All right. Good morning, Muddy. Oh. Good luck with that. Yikes. Okay, come on. So anybody else dying from the heat? One of my really good friends had a really good quote this weekend saying walking around Vegas is like being cremated. That was classic. All right, I guess miracle healing. Yeah, that's our first card. Miracle healing. Look inside yourself. All right, look inside yourself. So those two suddenly just said, hey, look at me. So miracle healing, no idea what that's supposed to mean. I'm kind of half-assing it today too, and I mean no disrespect by that. I'm just still in kind of like recuperation mode, and now I'm going back to my dad's, and I'm sad because I'm leaving my cats and older siblings. So I did not mean to pause in there. Sorry, older sibling, but Anyways, expect a miracle. You have prayed for assistance and it is forthcoming. Ooh, thank you. The more completely you surrender your situation to God. Okay. Oh, that's right. God and God, angels, whatever may come up in these readings, just replace it with your higher power, replace it with the universe. That will save time, okay? If that is not your jam, if God is not your jam, replace it with whatever it means, whatever you turn your higher power to. That was the other one. So, because I don't want to offend anybody, and I know there are different beliefs all over the world and everything. So there you go. All right. So, like I said, it will come up. So just replace it with your own thing. The more completely you surrender your situation to God or the universe, the more rapidly you will realize your healing. So heaven is completely on your side, and your prayers have been heard and answered. You needn't beg or petition heaven to help you, as your situation is already healed in truth. The healed reality is one of several parallel realities currently available to you. You have the choice through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions to experience the highest possible reality for yourself. You access your healed situation through faith and gratitude. To feel these powerful catalyzing emotions, say mentally or aloud to your higher power, I am tired of thinking about this situation. I don't want to deal with it any longer. Here, I'm giving the entire thing to you so that you can think about it and resolve it. There you go. Here, take it. Thank you so much for taking care of everything. Then detach completely from the situation. See yourself placing it in the palm of your higher power's loving hand. Feel grateful that your situation is now resolved and be open to the creative solution that greets you. So your affirmation is, in truth, everything and everyone, including myself, is healed right now. I focus on this truth instead of illusions of fear. There you go. There you go. So the next one, look inside yourself. Look inside yourself. That can be a hard one sometimes, right? Sometimes the answers are right inside of you, but you don't want to see them because, maybe it's a harder road, maybe it's a longer road, maybe it's a weird journey that you're not ready for, or you think you're not ready for. If you are on a healing journey, you are never going to be ready for it. You just have to run at it instead of running from it. Because if you keep running from it, it's just going to keep chasing you, right? It's just going to keep chasing you. So the best thing you do, and if you're not sure you want to do it or can do it alone, run at it with a good support system, whether that means professional help and people that you are very close to you that you trust, or just professional help. All right, because sometimes people don't want to be open with other people. I'm very grateful that I have a very healthy support system. So I'm lucky in that respect, but a lot of people don't have that. And just so you know, therapy is it's not a weak thing. It takes a lot of strength to face your demons and get help. So, so there you go. So look inside yourself. You've been trying to find satisfaction through outside sources, such as material possessions or relationships. You're also looking for help from other people. The fairies ask you to look within for the answers you need. So one more thing to add on to what I was saying. There are times when I can't reach anybody in my support group. And when that happens, it reminds me that there are times when I have to figure it out, that I have to go within. Because a lot of times we do get used to having, this support group around us, and to the point where we forget that we have to do things on our own. Your support group is to make sure that if you fall off of that high wire that you're on, they will catch you. It doesn't mean, hey, I have a problem like today, tomorrow, and the next day, solve it for me. No, they're there to help walk you through it. Okay? Remember, you cannot fix anybody's problems, but you can listen, you can walk them through it. I always ask people, and I say this all the time, what do you want from me right now? Do you want me to tell you what you want to hear, or do you want me to tell you what you need to hear, or do you just want me to be quiet? I give them options now, because sometimes they don't know. Right? And then we just go right into trying to fix it because we love our people and that's all we want to do. We want to make it better for them, but we can't always make it better for them. So sometimes you have to let them trip and fall and just remind them that, hey, I'm here to pick you up. Okay, I'm here to help you back up on your feet. So sometimes when you feel empty, your first reaction is to try and fill up the emptiness by acquiring something or someone. Yes, you cannot serve and you cannot give from an empty cup, but you also cannot fill it with other people's joys, material possessions, or just things. it comes from within, this self-love that we have that says, hey, you know what? I don't have anything to do today. Ooh, self-care day, you know, and then you're filling your cup. You're doing things that you love. It's not about trying to fill it with things, you know, and trust me, I've done that. I am a recovering emotional eater, and I'm not doing very well at it right now. So, you may fall in the trap of thinking, I'll be happy if or when I have, and in parentheses, a new lover, an advanced degree, or a better wardrobe, etc. Then, when you get the new acquisition, you only feel satisfied for a little while. The fairies remind you that the only source of true fulfillment is by connecting with the spirit within. Have a mental conversation with your creator and feel yourself filled with divine love. The same holds true if you're searching for answers from outside authorities. Now, there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel from wise friends, especially if their advice echoes what you know to be true. But perhaps you've been asking your friends, mentors, or psychics for solutions, and you feel you feel confused by conflicting advice. So if everyone is telling you different solutions, you'll need to meditate on what your inner guidance is telling you. And this is what I'm saying is, sometimes you have to, let me put it this way. If you're asking your friends and you go to a psychic and they say something totally different, but that resonates with you, you're literally paying for someone to tell you. You may want to take all these things that they're saying and feel which one fits me the most. Okay, which one feels like it's going to heal me? Which one resonates with you? But sometimes that also means that you are meant to figure it out yourself, that you have to figure out what your path is. All right. So I have affirmation. I have great beauty and light inside of me right now. I tap into all of the knowledge of the universe. Ta-da! All right, let's see what these other ones are. Creative expression. Need a hobby? Get one. But seriously, creative expression, I don't really think we need to read the card on that one. Creative expression is simply this. People will always tell you, oh, this, that, or the other, right? There will be people that, say you wrote a story and you absolutely love it, and you give it to one person to read and you're like, nope. They're all like, yeah, not my thing. Sorry. So give it to someone else to read. Right? Because you never know. I remember I asked my dad to read a story for me once, and he's like, yeah, I didn't like it. And I don't know if it was just because it wasn't his thing. He didn't give me much more feedback on it. That's all he said. I didn't like it. And it's like, did you not like it because of, it was not your jam? Or did you not like it because it was poorly written? But I got nothing. So, and then believe it or not, that kind of shut me down. And it wasn't his fault. It was just not his thing, I guess. But because of that and being so sensitive, I just thought, okay, well, I suck at this. And so now when I write, I don't share it with anybody except one story, which I shared with Muddy. And I'm still not actually sure she liked it or not, but she did mention that it was probably very cathartic for me, and it was. But no matter what you do, whether you paint, whether you draw, whether you write, whether you vlog or blog or whatever it is you do, there is somebody out there who is going to absolutely need what you have to say, what you want to say. They need to hear it. So don't let one voice, whether it was, and I don't think he had any bad intentions. It was just not his thing. So, but don't let one person slow you down. I know, I'm really kind of pointing to myself too, right? But don't let one person slow you down. Don't let one person say, oh, okay, you do you. Even if one person reads it, it might be the one person that needs to hear what you had to say. Raising your standards. Raising your standards. I think sometimes we can all do that, right? Like we just settle for the status quo. And there's more to life than just settling. You do not need to settle. You deserve all the wonderful things in life. But a lot of times we just feel so down on ourselves that we forget that we deserve big things, that we deserve good things. And so we just kind of settle. We just settle for whatever comes our way, thinking, okay, well, I guess that's all I'm worth, So, the card meaning, don't settle for less than your dreams. Once you make the commitment to manifest an improved situation, the universe will find a way to deliver it to you. Now, remember, this or something better if you're manifesting, because what you were asking for may not necessarily be meant for you. So, when you say this or something better, that which is meant for you will come to you. But also, don't kill the manifestation, the intention, the prayer, whatever you want to call it, with worry. When you worry about everything, you are going to put the kibosh on that manifestation. And then you're going to sit there going, well, why hasn't it happened yet? Because you killed it. And sorry, this is straight out, right? Because you killed it. You have to trust and believe. I know that is super hard. Trust me, I get it. Trust me when I say I get it. I totally get it. But you have to trust and believe. And that's not always easy. But when you learn to do that and you practice it, it gets easier and easier. So, you know, practice with some smaller things, right? And then as you get used to it and you start seeing things happening, go, oh, okay. And remind yourself that you deserve this. Because if you're sitting there trying to manifest something and then you're sitting there going, well, yeah, but you know, God's busy, or my higher power is busy, the universe is busy, and they don't have time for what I need, and blah, 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 then you literally just killed your manifestation. You have to trust and believe. There is enough for everybody. We just have to believe that there is, all right? So deep down, you know what type of life you're meant to live. By drawing this card, you're being reminded that you deserve and can manifest any situation you wish. The fairies ask you to stop making negative affirmations based on scarcity thinking, such as, I can't afford this, or I could never accomplish that. Instead, they ask you to raise your standards to the level that all children of God, or your higher power, or whatever you believe in, deserve. Write down a list of your heart's true desires and review this list daily with a feeling of faith and gratitude. Emotions that convert your wishes into reality. So remember, gratitude, the attitude. Okay, then make a spiritual commitment to expect the best for yourself. This commitment is your sales order that creates miracles in your life. As your dreams start to come true, be sure to graciously accept good into your life. Know that you deserve life's richest rewards. We all do. Okay, so affirmation. I deserve and expect the best in life. I hold high standards for myself. And remember, show gratitude. Okay, I'm so happy and grateful for, yada, yada, yada. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Gratitude is everything. Gratitude, like if you just say, I'm so happy and grateful for that tree out there, or that car that let me in, or this, and do it for like 5 minutes and see how different you feel afterwards, right? I mean, you're going to get a supreme feeling of excitement. So the last one is the magic of nature. I think this is pretty simple. Go stand outside when it's cooler. Not right now. As my friend said over the weekend, it's like being cremated outside. But, well, that's mostly walking in Vegas. But yeah, go sit in nature. Go to the beach. You know, go to the beach. Go to a park. Sit by a lake. Just be out in nature. Sit on your porch when it's cooler outside. Maybe at nighttime or whenever it feels a little bit more doable. But be in nature. Be a part of nature. Hug a tree. I know people always laugh at that, but seriously, there's a lot of energy in trees. And that energy can just heal you because, you know, trees are just a natural resource. And, you know, they're beautiful and they're amazing. And I really feel like they have personalities of their own. Maybe the really old trees, right? But yeah, so go hug a tree. Just be careful that you don't hug the ants, okay? Find a tree that is bug-free. Because that's the last thing you need. All right, so the heal yourself cards, and then we're going to get to the fun ones, the magical unicorns and the dragon oracles. So, all right, let's see. I know, having some issues. These cards are huge. I like them though. I like the bigger cards. I don't know why, but they kind of make you feel like the movie cards, right? The cards in the movies. Oh, there's one. Let's see if we got any. One more shuffle. See if anything comes out. Anything. There we go. Oh, that one flipped over, and you are going to love it because we just talked about this. And, you know, I'll do that one second. All right, since that was the second card to come out. But the first one, oh, sexuality. Wow. Sorry, it just happens. Sexuality. Wow. Okay, I have no idea about this card, but I mean, what do I even say about this card? I mean, here, first and foremost, when you look at this card, are you feeling embarrassed? Are you saying, oh my God, Shelly Marie, put it down, put it down, put it down? This is a normal thing in life. Naked people happen. Naked people with sheer clothes happen. And yet here we are giggling, right? Going, oh my God, look at that jewel, the lady on the card. No. Okay. She's just like, check me out. Follow me. Follow me. All right. But I think a lot of us do put our sexuality aside. And I don't think they're talking about how you identify. Okay. We're not talking about gender identity right now, which is not a bad thing. You know, I mean, I'm an ally. Okay. And however you identify is fine with me. But I think what we're talking about here is sexuality and how we kind of turn that off because we're taught that it's bad. There are some groups of people that say, oh, well, that is only for procreation. Yeah, well, what do you do when you get older and you have needs? No, this is a natural part of life. If God did not want you to feel good, or your higher power did not want you to feel good, or if you don't believe in anything, if your body did not want you to feel good, you wouldn't have that power to do so. Okay? You wouldn't. So let's be wide open about this, all right? I've been single for 1,000 million gazillion years. I have needs. Now all of you are like, la 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 la. It's the truth. Well, we all do. Whether you're a man, a woman, however you identify, we have needs. And sometimes those needs need to be met. And so we meet them. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? But to be honest with you, when I was before I even started on the healing journey, it was not something I really thought about doing. I felt guilty about it. You know, the whole self-pleasure, the whole self-everything. I felt guilty about it. When I had a partner, sex was not always that enjoyable because it was more about them than it was about me. So there was a lot of times that it was just kind of like, you're done and you're like, oh, okay. Like I've never cuddled afterwards in my entire life. I've never had somebody make love to me. Okay. Now I know I'm being a little more open than people probably want me to be and, you know, or comfortable with me being, but I'm doing this and I'm not going to say it's not embarrassing because even though I have pink blush on, you can see me blushing because it is a difficult thing to talk about. Not because of the fact that it's, you know, self-care, because it's not easy to talk about because you're talking about it to a lot of people now. But here's the thing. It's okay. Okay? It's okay. You're allowed to enjoy the act. You're allowed to enjoy the act of self-gratification. But also, there's a lot more to sexuality than just that. So I'm sure there is. So let's read about it. And no, I'm not that, you know, I guess I thought I was a little more embarrassed about talking about it, but I'm not really sure I am. Because it's a natural act of being a human. And we take care of ourselves. And sometimes we have to do it ourselves. So, sexuality is a natural part of life. Embrace and enjoy your intimate, sensual, passionate nature. Take time to explore your sexuality. How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel sexy, attractive, and happy with your body? Or are you judging yourself harshly? You need to let go of any old feelings of hurt, shame, or guilt in relation to your sexuality. If you are in a relationship, you need to bring some romance back and spice things up. In order to make sex an incredibly fulfilling, seductive, exhilarating, and orgasmic experience, you need to let go of your defenses and fears of being intimate with your partner. That was always hard for me, and that could be why there were some issues on my part. Because, you know, there was a lot of bad things that happened before I had partners. So, you know, there was just kind of this, like a holding back thing. So I have no idea what it would be like now because I am in a healed state. And it would probably be awkward the very first time because it's been like 1,000 years. But, you know, aside from the natural, you know, nervousness, when you have unhealed trauma, you want to be intimate, but it may be difficult. So if this is a problem, talk to your partner. Talk to them, because I did have what you call disassociation, which means I kind of disappear. And so it wasn't always their fault, and it was more about them than me, but I never spoke up because I just didn't feel like I had a voice. I just felt like, okay, well, this is what I need to do to make them happy. And you deserve to be happy as well. So, you know, if you are nervous, or maybe it is your first time with your partner, or maybe it's your first time period, talk to them. You know, just tell them, look, you know, can we take this a little slow because I'm a little nervous? Or just, you know, be open with them. And if they're a good person, if they're a good partner, they will listen to you. Okay? And it may be embarrassing for them. So just, you know, take it easy. Don't just go, hey, be calm with me. No, just say, you know, this is something I'm really looking forward to, and can we just, you know, be patient with me? Sometimes that's all you need to say is be patient with me. All right. So, or whatever feels comfortable for you. So, relinquish control and dive into unguarded, ecstatic, blissful passion. Be creative, communicate with your lover, and find new and exciting ways to thrill each other. Wow. So anyways, sorry. All right. Action. You need to love your body. Stand in front of the mirror naked and discover what is beautiful about your physical appearance. Place your hands on your sacral center, put on some sexy music, and move in a sensual, creative, uninhibited way. Do this every day for the next 2 weeks. If you are in a relationship, make a romantic date with your partner that will include some love and passion. Start with a sensual or an erotic massage and take it further. Ask each other what will give you pleasure and be willing to be creative and try new things. If you are game, explore the power of feminine and masculine polarities. That's interesting. They also have, and you can find them on Amazon, but you can find like at the I don't know what you would call them, the love stores, I guess. They have games. They have games so that you can spice it up. You can just kind of roll the dice and go, oh, hey, let's try this. So, you know, don't be ashamed. All right. It is supposed to be a very natural, positive experience for you. And we all deserve that natural, positive experience, right? So talk it through with your partner. You know, talk it through with yourself if you need to, if, you know, you're self-gratifying. Because, you know, you also need to be safe with yourself. You know, you don't want to do things that are going to make yourself uncomfortable. But when you're with a partner, you also don't want to do anything that's going to make them uncomfortable. So if you talk and you meet in the middle, then, you know, this is a good thing. Okay. So just like it says here, but again, relinquish control and dive into unguarded, ecstatic, blissful passion. You have to make sure you trust your partner or yourself. All right. So this one is the reason I giggled. Self-love. And no, I did not know that sensuality was the card before this. So not the kind of self-love we're talking about now. It is self-love, like be good to yourself. All right. Because we did kind of talk about self-love here, but no, not that kind of self-love, even though it kind of looks like it, right? By just her all flowiness. But I guess it could be, you know, I mean, these two cards may go together if you absolutely need them to, right? Sensuality and self-love. But no, seriously, we're going to talk about self-love. Self-love, like filling your cup with, you know, things that, okay, sometimes I have trouble explaining this because as a recovering people pleaser also, I would try to do things for people that would fill my cup. Like, you know, you go over and above because it makes you happy and you know it's going to make them happy. But in the end, like a couple hours later, maybe it may take a day later, it's gone and your cup is empty again because you're trying to fill it with someone else's joy, not your own. Self-love is about the one sensuality thing, right? Standing in front of the mirror. Now, your sacral center is actually your private area. That's your sacral center, or right above it, actually. It's kind of like the space between the bottom of your tummy and right above your pleasure zone. So, but that's because it's the sacral chakra, right? And I don't know what it is with this show. My nose has not run all day. Then I hit play and all of a sudden, boom. So anyways, but self-love is, it's about filling your cup with things that bring you joy. You know, maybe you love to hug trees, so go hug a tree. That's filling your cup up a little bit. Maybe watching your favorite show, or maybe doing something that takes care of your needs that day, like maybe going for a walk or going to the beach or going for a swim. Maybe I'm a water baby. I love the water. So, you know, going into a pool or something and doing those things. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of sad because I have all this color stuff going on with my hair. So I've been afraid to go into the pool because I don't want it to come out. But yeah, I really miss swimming. So it may just be like get in the pool, but don't duck under. But get a swim cap. But anyways, but doing things that require self-love for you, that bring you joy. Okay, maybe it's a favorite TV show. Maybe it's eating ice cream while watching your favorite TV show. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to put people into bad habits, but a lot of times we don't self-indulge because we feel guilty about it. We feel like, no, that's not for me. I shouldn't be doing that. That's wrong. If God thought it was wrong, for those of you who are super God-fearing, if God thought it was wrong, he would strike you dead right there. Right? But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because he's saying, you are my children. I want you to be happy. If you don't believe in God, then it's just you. Whoever your higher power is, whether it's the universe, whether it's nothing, whatever it is, are you feeling joy in your life? Are you practicing enough self-love, which in a way is self-care? Are you, you know, looking in the mirror and going, ugh, right? So you don't have to stand in front of the mirror naked like the sensuality thing does. Now, if you're going to follow the sensuality thing, do that for 2 weeks. Okay? It's just asking you, be in love with your body. Find yourself and find yourself loving your body. Okay? No matter thick, thin, tall, short, whatever. It's about learning to love your body. Now, the self-love, if you want to, stand in front of the mirror and remind yourself, hey, I love you. I love you. You don't have to do it naked for this particular thing, okay? The naked one is for the sensuality. This one, a little bit different. This is saying, look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself that you are amazing. Fill yourself with positive words, not negative words. You know, if you're not happy with your weight, don't look at yourself in the mirror and go, ugh. Just go, you know what? I love you. And, you know, that's all you need to say. You don't need to tell yourself what you're going to do about it. You don't need to tell yourself how you're going to fix it. Just say, I love you. You're perfect just as you are. Even if you do need to make changes. Because the more you shame yourself and the more you hurt yourself, the more you are going to be putting yourself behind the 8 ball of getting better in whatever direction it is that you need to go. Whether you need to gain weight or lose weight or just like being who you are and staying exactly who that person is in the world. I'm not going to judge anybody. I know how difficult it is, and I know how difficult it is to love ourselves. It's very hard. So the book says, take time out to get to know yourself and what works for you in this particular cycle of your life. Yeah, perimenopause has really thrown me, okay? It has really thrown me. And I didn't really think it has until certain things come up and you're just like, fudge, what the hell? You know, and you kind of like want to find a table and just bang your head against it for about 30 minutes, hoping that you knock yourself out so you don't have to deal with it. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Not advice, okay? Just, that swirling like, what the hell? You know, so some of the biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, which lead to harsh judgment of the self, closing down, and eventually illness. Have you been trying to compete with others, get approval from people in your family, or simply pushing yourself too hard? If so, you need to soften and start listening to your body. Focus on keeping your heart open and practice acknowledging and recognizing the good in yourself and others. This card beckons you to breathe love in and out every moment of the day. Ask yourself, what changes do I need to make to my daily routine so that love can pulsate through every breath, action, and relationship I engage in? Choose to open your heart through softness, deep breathing, relaxation, movement, finding beauty in nature, in your home, in your pain, in your love, in your sadness, in prayer, etc. Keep your heart open, though it makes you feel vulnerable and exposed. So when it says, you know, open your heart through softness and, you know, even in your pain, that's where you start to find healing. Okay. And you don't need to please anybody. You know, up here it says, are you trying to get approval from people? You don't need anybody's approval but your own. You really don't. I think one of the prime examples, right, is Tu Wong Fu, where Vita, was it Vita? Always wanted to get approval from, you know, her family, because, you know, she's a drag queen. And, you know, she wanted to get approval from her family, but her, you know, she came from kind of an upper scale family, and they're just kind of, they wrote her off. They wrote her off. And then she finds a friend, and the person has known that she was a man all this time, but loved her anyway. Because, you know, they became friends, because this is somebody who stepped out, you know, to help this person. And then all of a sudden it's like they realize, you know, I don't need anybody's approval. And it's hard, because we do. You know, I'm not going to say that I don't try to find people's approval or get approval from people, but after a while, when I started to find this healing part of myself, this healed part of myself, I realized I don't need anybody's approval. It would be nice to hear, and it would be nice to have. And, you know, compliments are always welcome, right? And you want people to say nice things to you. But you also shouldn't be breaking your back trying to get somebody's attention for approval. And there's a lot of kids out there who have parents that just sit there and all they want is a little bit of approval. And they can't get it. And maybe their parent thinks that, oh, well, you already know that's how I feel. Or maybe you see them giving it to other people and you're like, well, hello. And they're thinking, you know, my mom was like that. You know, it's like, I always strive to get her approval. And it was very, very hard. And then one day I just called her out on it. And she's like, well, I just figured you always knew. And it's like, you know, sometimes it's nice to hear. And her response was, well, I didn't hear it from my parents growing up. And it's like, okay, but you will give somebody else's child disapproval. You will sit there and stroke their back saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. But you can't do it for your own kid. And I remember when my mom died, all these people going, oh, Auntie was so this, Auntie was so that. And it's like, who are you talking about? Don't get me wrong. I love my mom. My mom and I had a very good relationship towards the end of her life. But growing up, when I was in this place, my mom just, you know, if anything ever happened to her, it was just push it down and deal with it later. Or don't deal with it at all. Just push it down, forget about it, be strong. But that's not how I'm built. I was built to break a cycle. I was built to say, hey, you know what? I deserve to heal. And yes, I have mental health issues, and which she also kind of wrote off. There was a lot of things we did not talk about. And there were a lot of things that I realized, you know, this is where older sibling comes in. She kind of took up this pseudo parental position for me in a way where my mom couldn't, you know, and it was something I needed. That's why I called her older sibling, because she really is like she's that older sister that just says, hey, you know what? I got your back. And she helped me a lot through this healing journey. You know, I mean, she was there in real time, right? In person, every time I fell apart. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about, having a good support group. I have a very good support group. It's not just older sibling. It goes across the board. But older sibling is my roommate. And, you know, she's gotten me through a lot. But it was also very uncomfortable when you get compliments, because I'm not used to them. You know, and like I said, I love my mom. I don't mean anything wrong about my mom. My mom just had a different view of who I should be versus other people. And that's why she was always a little bit more compassionate with other people than with me, because she just wanted me to be strong. It takes a lot of strength to get through some of the shit I've been through. But yeah, so self-love, work on it. I promise you, you will not be sorry when you start to feel it. Also, if you have dry erase markers, and I mean this, dry erase markers, not permanent markers, dry erase markers. You can write things on your mirror, your bathroom mirror. Things, you know, affirmations you can say to yourself, or just, you know, words like self-love, self-care, or, you know, I have a heart on mine to remind myself that, you know, self-love. You know, like I love this person standing before me. and to fill your own cup. All right. And remember, dry erase marker. You can go to the dollar store and get them really cheap. So, all right. I don't know why. I've been having some trouble this last week. My brain just feels like it's swimming. I'm so exhausted. I don't know if we're in a transition mode or what, but it's been wild. So anyways, oh my God, these are so pretty. I forgot how pretty these were, right? They're like a lavendery pink color. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I don't know. Come on, dragons, what you got for me? Oh, there we go. The Earth and Water Dragon. I don't know why I saw that and all I could think of was Earth, Wind, and Fire. Was there one? Earth Dragon. So, oh, that's a good one, right after self-love. Earth and Water Dragon creates the foundation for new growth. A fresh new start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. This one's pretty. It's like got emerald wings, right? And I can't tell, is he standing by the water? Oh, he is standing by the water, or she. They are standing by the water. But, yeah, and then they have a little symbol right here on their shoulder. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, okay. So yeah, it creates the foundation of new growth. We were just kind of talking about that, right? So I don't use this deck very often, so give me a second to find. Oh, here we go. Earth and Water Dragon. Okay, so the card's about fourth dimensional brown and green earth and water dragons bring the blessing of a new opportunity. They synchronize the energy and timing to ensure it blossoms. The element of earth enables us to ground our projects, while the element of water enables us to flow with them. When combined in the earth and water dragon, these are very auspicious qualities. When mixed together in the physical world, earth and water create mud, which is excellent for the growth of seeds. Remember, the lotus flower. So the lotus grows basically in the muck and the darkness and the mud, and then comes up to be this beautiful, beautiful flower. So guidance. If you're planting a tree, you place its roots into the soil and make sure it has a good foundation. Then you activate its growth with water. In due course, you harvest the fruit. The more effort you put into providing the perfect conditions for the tree, the better the crop. This card is showing you this is a good time to create with the gracious assistance of the earth and water dragons. You can lay a strong foundation for your future. Picking this card suggests it is time to start a new phase of your life. Fresh opportunities may be presenting themselves to you, so be ready to nurture any ideas or visions that come to you. The earth and water dragons will enable you to know intuitively what is right for you and to harness your creativity. They will help you to generate the right conditions to succeed. They will motivate you to put in the necessary work, for this is an important step, and then you can harvest your abundance. Most importantly, they will help you to take things lightly. So listen to your inner wisdom. The time for action is now. So there you go. You have the self-love card. You have the card for new growth. If the universe ain't talking to you, I don't know who is. All right. And last but not least, I love these cards. They're so cute. The magical unicorns. They're just like so fun. They're fun. You know? So let's see. Let's see what we got. Hell, I don't know why, but my head feels so swimmy right now. I haven't had caffeine for days. Maybe that's what it is. Come on. Anybody? You know, it's funny, I lost 2 people while I was talking about sensuality. It's like, and I don't know if it's because they had to go to work or they had something come up or what, but it was just kind of funny. It's like I start talking about that and all of a sudden they're gone. I know it can be an embarrassing subject, but it's only embarrassing if we let it. The human body is a natural thing. Pleasure is a natural thing, and we shouldn't be embarrassed by it. You know, we should embrace it. We should love it if that's your thing. So, anyways, there we go. All right. One more shuffle to see if anything else wants to come out. There, I knew there was one more in there. I knew it. All right, so Let me put these in order the way they popped out. So, okay. It's okay to be different. You don't need to be like everyone else. You're perfect just as you are. I love this. It's okay to be different. This card speaks to me because I have always thrived on being different. And I didn't choose to be different because I wanted to stand out. I was just always different. And, you know, you hear about these horror stories in these families where it's like, yeah, my family always treated me like the black sheep and yada, yada, yada. I'm not sure if my family just loves me enough that they just put up with whatever I put out there. But, or because they're just very supportive. I like to think both, you know, but I think there is a level of love that, you know, comes with, you know, being supportive and just, you know, being out there. And I was always lucky. My parents always struggled a bit because I wore a lot of black when I was in high school. I believe they call them goth now. We were what they called darkies at the time, which not a phrase that stands very well the test of time. But because we just wore black all the time, that's what they used to call us. And it was more of a personal choice. I just loved wearing black, you know, and then I'd wear like these bright nylons that just kind of popped with the outfits. But you know, my parents struggled with it, but my uncle was always kind of like, yeah, you know, just let her do what she does. She's a teenager, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, my dad's brother. So, and, you know, my family just kind of expected it from me. You know, they throw colors at me and it's like, no. But, and I still do it a bit. I have obviously incorporated colors into my life since then. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those things, right? And I didn't intend to be different. I just was. I just liked it. There were things that I would wear, like I had these striped tights, and I love them, black and white striped tights. I'm basically looking like a pirate, okay? But I just love them, not because they were different, but because they just brought me joy. And, you know, I didn't strive to be anyone different than I was. Even now, it's like, you know, like I talk about wearing my Doc Martens with my dresses, and it's just, you know, at some point it just becomes about comfort, but also because I just like it. It's not a personal choice that other people would make, but it's a choice I make. And I kind of enjoy walking to the beat of my own drum, you know, putting things together that a lot of people wouldn't put together, but a lot of people want to put together, right? But they don't know how to step out of the status quo. And, you know, if I have to, I do, you know, I mean, I know how to I clean up really well. So, but in my everyday normal life, I just, you know, I am just different. And I was ashamed of it for a while. And I tried to be like everybody else. But I realized when we really kind of break it down, there are no two same people, even twins. All right. I mean, we may want to be the same, we may act the same, but there are going to be things that are not exactly on target with each other. We're going to be different. But I just always kind of liked, again, walking to the beat of my own drum. And for no other reason than because it's like, oh, this looks cute with this. And I hope that for other people that can be a thing, because you don't need to be like everybody else. You are perfect exactly as you are. You know, my beliefs and my traditions now are a lot different than the people I know, than the people around me, because I've embraced a side of me that I've embraced my gifts that I have, and I'm not ashamed of them anymore. You know, I was, because I thought, well, what are people going to think? You know, yeah, see, even Muddy, I've had a different clothing style my whole life, and I love it. Yeah, right? Because it's something that's just us. It's our personal, you know, I don't know how to put that. It's our personal thing. It's the way we project ourselves onto the world. You know, older sibling has all these different cat shirts, you know, and I used to give her a hard time about that. But then I thought, why am I giving her a hard time about that? It's like, you wear Doc Martens with dresses, and you don't like it when she comments on it, so don't comment on her stuff. But her shirts are really cute. We had one lady, oh my God, when I was getting my MRI, we kept running into this one lady. She could not stop staring at older sibling shirt. Then she asked if older sibling named the two cats on her shirt. I mean, not weird, but it was cute, because it was like, oh, did you name them? And I thought, well, you know, I'm not going to make fun of her for asking that, because I name everything that I have that doesn't already have a name, right? So, but It's these things like, oh, I never thought about that, naming things on your clothes. But older sibling loves her cat shirts, and that's her thing. And they're really, really cute. They're really, really cute. So, you know, it's not my thing, but that's her thing, you know? And so I don't think that we should have to fall in line to the status quo of people when we're on our own time. I get it. You have to do your own thing at work. I was fortunate enough at work that I was able to have my own style and nobody cared because we worked in an office, didn't deal with the public very often. And when we did have someone big coming through, they all let us know, okay, everybody be on your best because so-and-so's coming through. It's like, okay, everybody dress like, you know, business casual tomorrow. But we were lucky that we, you know, that we were just kind of able to freestyle within reason, obviously. But let's see. Everyone wants to be liked, so it's normal that you want to fit in with other people. You may compare yourself with others and feel like you don't belong. You may even feel that you're not as good as other people. But this card is to tell you that your special talents are needed in this world. It's okay to be different. You don't need to change in order to please others. If you try to be different from who you really are, you won't be happy and you won't make true friends. But if your inner voice tells you to improve yourself through learning new skills and taking care of your body, then you're being good to yourself. This will lead you to true friends and those who really love you as you are. And I'm grateful. Even though they may disagree with some of my choices, they love me just as I am. And I appreciate all my people for that. As long as you feel good about yourself, you're doing well. The best way to do this is to tell the truth. Treat people with kindness, keep your promises, and do the work that you need to do. You needn't be perfect, wear the latest styles, or be the most popular person. Just trust that your higher power made you exactly how you're supposed to be, and make the very best of what you've got. I love that. I love that. So I was thinking of this one outfit I had, right? It was this really pretty sundress, white with these pretty colorful flowers, and I decided for the very first time ever, I was going to wear my purple Doc Martens with them. This is a long time ago, about 10 years ago. And older sibling was like, I said, so what do you think? And she's like, not my choice. But I'm like, well, that's all right, because, you know, it's not your choice. I'm the one wearing it. But I can't tell you how many compliments I got on it throughout the day. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so... But one of the saddest ones I heard was, you're so brave for wearing that with your dress, because I absolutely would love to do that, but I'm just not brave enough. And I'm all, you know what? You just have to do what makes you happy and not worry about what other people think. And I literally just pointed at older sibling off, because she absolutely hates it. But I said, what I wear is not up to her. It's up to me. And the girl's all, that's good advice. And even older sibling was like, you know, that's good advice. Because, you know, because she's not wearing it, right? I'm the one wearing it. But I appreciate the fact that she didn't hem and haw about it all day, because she is hanging out with me, right? She was just kind of like, not my choice, but that's on you, okay? So sometimes that's all it takes. You just be a supportive person. All right, you know, no one's going to judge you by what they're wearing. And if they do, then those are just stupid people. And you don't need to be around them, okay? So, curiosity. This is cute. There's a kitty. A kitty. It's pawing at the... Aww. So cute. Start a project related to something you're curious about. Start a project related to something you're curious about. So curiosity. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just feeling kind of weird right now. So anyways, come on. Where are you? All right. What do you wonder about? What would you like to learn about? Your curiosity is like a roadmap that helps you know your soul's preferred direction. You're naturally curious about areas of life that are related to your divine mission, which is the big reason why you came to Earth. Watch your thoughts and actions to get a better sense of where your curiosity lies. Notice any topics that really excite you. Observe what you do in your spare time. Watch what grabs your attention about other people. Your close friends and family members can also offer their observations about your areas of curiosity. For instance, are you fascinated by science, animals, the weather, fashion, swimming, Egyptian history, or some other area of life? This card asks you to start a special project that allows you to learn more about this topic. Make the time to read about the area related to your curiosity. Interview experts who are working in the field. Create an experiment or science project to help you learn more. In other words, use your curiosity as fuel to drive you forward toward a better understanding of yourself and the world. So, and last but not least, Love heals fear. Love heals fear. Now, the funny thing is about this is who's afraid of who? Because in the normal world, it's very possible that that big cat would eat that unicorn. However, the unicorn literally has a stabby thing on his head. So, who's afraid of who? But the power of your love can help bullies and angry people to be less afraid. I know. Trying to keep an open mind. So, people who are angry are really afraid of getting into trouble, even adults and people with important jobs. So, when you meet someone who acts like a bully, remember that this person is really just afraid. If you get angry back at the person, you'll just add to their fear. You can heal away anger with your thoughts of love. See the goodness in everybody, including yourself. Know that everyone really wants to be happy. No one likes to be a bully. No one enjoys being angry. I disagree with this in certain cases. Bullies and angry people are very lonely because their anger pushes other people away from them. So you can help by being kind to such people. You want to be kind to yourself and listen to your inner voice, which tells you how to stay safe. Call upon angels, especially Archangel Michael, to protect you if you ever feel afraid. And love is your best protector because your inner voice helps you to know helps you to know the love that's within every person. It will keep you strong no matter what. There are narcissistic people in the world that enjoy being angry and enjoy being a bully. But in the case that I think they're talking about in this is that there are people in this world who have fear and who have trauma. And those people who have fear and trauma are just, they have a wall built up. And when people start to kind of traipse into that area, it freaks them out. So you have to discern where this person falls in that category, because I think a lot of us can agree that there are some bullies. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to, this is the oracle reading. But there are bullies in this world who really kind of get off on being a bully, who get off on the power of it. And, in a way, those are the people that probably need the most kind of love. But they feed off of our anger and our fear. So, anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Mae Lucas. Anybody can watch. You can also find me on YouTube, TikTok, and across the social media board. Still haven't figured out how to do IG with all this yet, so I am making shorter videos for that. So anyways, please take care of yourselves. Please have a wonderful, wonderful day. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.